Um, all right. So, Damien, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I kind of wanted to have much more subject matter expertise when it comes to some of the questions that I'm getting when it
But
comes to moving to Italy. You've lived in Italy since 1988. What brought you here?
I had a friend who was living in Rome who was having a few personal problems. So I came to Rome, and it should have been a 2 to 3 month experience. But one thing led to another. And in 1990, I put together all of the information that I had been giving to people into a course, which was called How to Live and Work Successfully in Italy. It was
Yeah.
kind of like Italy on a lollipop. It was very easy to, it was very easy to digest, and I think I had 5 or 6 participants at the first one. Okay, and
Okay.
I'm proud to say that it's still going today. Then that kind of segued into relocation. Then I kind of started to actually help people to move here, and so with a business partner, we started another relocation company, and then we did a lot of corporate. We did some individual, but it was mainly corporate. It was the Fortune 500 companies.
And you've moved over 10,000 people in your
Between
experience,
corporate,
correct?
between corporate and private, yes.
For people who are fans of like House Hunter International or curious about those 1 euro homes, can they just move to Italy?
Um, yes and no. Italian immigration is very similar to immigration in most countries, except maybe Australia. That's the most difficult I have ever come across. Okay.
Yes.
Italy's a walk, Italy's a walk in the park. Okay. So, yes, if you have a certain passport or you qualify for a certain visa as a non EU citizen, obviously, because if you
Yeah,
have an Italian passport or you have an EU passport, you can come to Italy, without any too many difficulties. If
right.
you're non EU and you want to stay after 90 days, you need a long term visa.
I think one of the myths, and I've had people ask me this, so I know it is out there floating, is the idea of, oh, if you can only stay 90 days, I'll just book a flight, I'll go and leave, and then I'll come right back. Can you talk a little bit about the 90 days, what that looks like in terms of an entire year?
It's 90, it's up to 90 days in any given 180-day period. Okay?
Yes.
So from the 1st of January to June 30th, in that 180-day period, you can stay in Italy or the Schengen area for up to
hmm
90 days.
So, in the course of a year, the most someone without going through visa processes, without citizenship, EU citizenship, the most that they could stay is really 6 months
Yeah,
because they could leave for 3 months and then come back for another
they could
three.
come back. They could come back.
One thing that is interesting and keeps coming up in what I've seen, and I've seen them do this more than once, but Airbnb is offering contests that allow people to stay in Italy free for a year. For non EU citizens, I'm really curious how that would work for them in terms of my understanding being they can still only stay for 90 days. Have you heard anything about different permissions or visas or anything when it comes to contests?
I'm sure that if you scroll down to the small print, you will find a clause that says this does not include immigration. Okay.
Yeah,
So even though Airbnb will allow you to live 1 year free,
right.
you would be responsible for your own immigration. So again, the non EU person would have to find a way to stay 1 year.
You had written an article that was the 10 myths about moving to Italy.
One of the myths is that if you buy property in Italy, it somehow gives you immigration rights, but it
Okay.
doesn't. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's a €1 house or a $2 million property, it doesn't give you any residency rights in Italy.
Yeah. So, what are people's resources at that point? What can they do?
You're either looking at, as a non EU citizen, being part of an intra-company transfer. So let's
hmm
say you work for a company in the US or Canada or somewhere, and they have a presence in Italy, and they transfer you here. Then you've got the famous elective residency visa that everybody talks about, which is essentially a retirement visa. Okay.
Okay.
It's for anybody who can show passive income. And that
Okay.
means from investments, rental properties, something that comes in on a regular basis and it's not from work. There's talk of Italy doing a type of digital nomad visa, but now I'm not sure where it's at. There was
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, I've
But
heard, and I know some towns are investing, as you were saying, in the foundation of being a solid place to work for nomads in terms of the internet connectivity.
yeah, but unless you have a specific nomad visa, that
Mhm.
would mean the person would have to try to get a self-employment visa, which is one of the most challenging to get. And they're trying to push people towards an investor's visa, which is around 250,000 euros right now,
Okay.
possibly 100,000 if it's a startup that you're investing in. So again, those towns do not have something going on parallel with the government with regards to immigration.
Because it's not the town that can grant the right to do it, and it's not Airbnb that can grant the right to stay. It's
No,
the government, right? The Italian government at the national level.
yes, it's
Okay.
the government. I mean, Italy's immigration laws are national, because
Mhm.
Italy has probably one of the most generous citizenship laws in the world. With most countries, it's limited to the parents or the grandparents. I mean, in Italy, if you can show the lineage going back to the 1300s, they will give you an Italian passport, which is quite amazing. I think if anybody has the right to get Italian citizenship, I think they should. I think it's a great thing to have. And for their children also, because they may want to go to live in another EU country, for example, and it just makes things so much easier. So I think it's a great opportunity.
Let people know if they want to get in touch with you because they'd like to engage you for your services or even just follow your blog because you write amazing content about moving to Italy. How can people find you?
They can go directly to my website, which is
Mhm.
damianofarrell.com, or they can join my Facebook group, Ultimate Italy, which now has over 15,000 people. I post content there as well. So
Okay.
people can get a lot of what I call pre move information. That's what
Okay.
it's about. It's about getting the pre move information and having the most successful relocation possible.
I could talk to you for ages, Damien. You're such a joy. Thank you so much.
Really, it's my
Oh,
pleasure.